Welcome to the 193rd broadcast of the T-Row Show. It's your host, Keith. It's been a pleasure talking to you folks tonight. The stats are going back up again. We're getting there. We last month was about 500,000, a little bit less hits. This month is 600,000, and we haven't even gotten 11 days into the month yet, or 2 weeks into the month. So we're doing pretty good. It's going back up again. So the listens are great. We do appreciate everybody that that listens to the T-Row Show, and hopefully we can keep that up. Now, this is what we have here. We got some funny stuff and some sad stuff, but the funny part, I don't know if anybody has seen this or not, but we put it on the T-Row Show. This is probably one of the funniest retorts I've ever heard. Let me make sure you can hear this. Yep, share computer, got it. All righty, just take a look. It's funny.
You pulled me over, searched my car, wasted 30 minutes of my life, mad because I have a defund the police bumper sticker. You're a Trump-supporting, racist, ignorant moron who's lost all conception of reality, and you base your life off an ideology you learned from YouTube.
Actually, sir, the defund the police bumper sticker doesn't offend me at all. I agree there needs to be reform, possibly even some military experience before we give a young man or woman a license to kill. But if we're swapping insults, the Biden 2020 sticker on this cargo van, I gotta pull it over. I'm obligated to search it and make sure it's not full of orphan children from a foreign nation on their way to get their brains harvested by a sick elite pedophile ring.
Booyah. I love it. I love it. I heard that. I was like, oh, man, that's the first time I've really ever agreed with a cop on anything that they do. It's friggin' hilarious. Okay, last week's show, we had something about U.S. citizen. I said prove U.S. citizen exists and all that. That actually got it was a pretty popular show. I wanted to show you. I got challenged, so we have to deal with this. They said, "Well, I take exception to this. They do. Your certificate does say citizen of the United States." Yep. All right, here we go, folks. It's going to be sad, very sad about what you're going to hear. I took just the wording of the certificates they sent. I didn't want to put their certificates on there and put their names on there and everything else. All right. So I took with the wording that meant something. All right. Now listen to this. It says then residing in the United States. So remember, they're residing in the United States, so they're a resident of the United States. There's such a thing as called permanent residency. So it intends to reside in the United States. They always say that in their naturalization laws, when so required by the naturalization laws of the United States, and had all other respects complied with the applicable provisions of such naturalization laws, and was entitled, listen to this, was past tense, entitled to be admitted to citizenship. Such person having taken the oath of allegiance in a ceremony conducted by the U.S. Federal Court for Western District of Texas. Okay, was entitled. Then they come in and said, oh, wait a minute, let's do a little switch here. That such person is admitted as a citizen of the United States of America, which I have looked around everywhere, and there is no such status in the constitutions. Matter of fact, I also found that there's no such thing as a citizen of the United States, and I'll show that here in just a few minutes. Absolutely no such thing. There was another one here. We did the same exact thing, and this one was a citizen of the United States. Okay, so having complied, this is another one. This was in 2011. This was in 1999. They changed the wording a little bit. Complied with all the respects with all the applicable provisions of the natural person or naturalization laws of the United States, being entitled to be admitted as a citizen of the United States. Okay, right here. And having taken the oath of allegiance at a ceremony conducted by U.S. District Central Court, blah, blah, blah. And they got the word was, they took that out, all right? They changed a little bit. Such person as is admitted as a citizen of the United States of America. No such thing. Actually, I found there's no such thing as this either, citizen of the United States. There's basically no such thing. Your 14th Amendment is really messed up because it doesn't even have the right spelling in it. All right, so what we do is we go back to the original document that was being spoken about. Now that's sad. Okay, they're gonna tell these people, oh, you're getting citizenship and everything else, and you're not. That's the whole problem. And I keep saying that, and there's no such thing again as citizen of the United States. So I only want to cover this a little bit. We had the assembly states, some crap that they call themselves, that trial today on stealing of the meats and bounds of the states of the Union, stealing that document and passing on off to your own, or passing it off as your own. That would be Anna, and then all the rest of them jumped in and did it too. And I'm going to show you why we do not want to be associated with patriot groups, but they keep coming around. And the funny part about it is, I said this last week, the ones that this is even funnier because the ones that are talking to us, they don't even realize they're the ones we're talking about. They don't even get that. That was the funniest part, because I said, wait a minute. They don't even realize they're the ones that we're talking about. And they start trying to explain to you, they think you don't know, right? On what you're saying is on whatever crap that they want to claim. Oh, we just don't understand. No, we understand. We got about 75 to 100 years of research with people around with the government of the United States of America. We've been through all the crap that you're explaining to us, and every bit of it is crap. We keep trying to tell you that. Now, there it is. See, in that Constitution, it says citizen of the United States, but what's the difference? Uppercase C. So guess what they have to do? It's a particular citizen of the United States, particular person, place, or thing. It's not a noun, see? And every word means something in a document. You can't claim this. Let's go over here and have it, I'm sorry, there it is. Have it not comply with the Constitution itself. The 14th Amendment doesn't comply with the Constitution because these are citizens of the United States. Lowercase c, completely different. One's a noun, one's a particular person, a pronoun, particular person, place, or thing. That makes a difference in law. Okay? They have the same thing here, citizens of the United States. Lowercase c. So why isn't it that way over in their Constitution? I mean, I'm just curious, you know. I don't even think there's such thing as a lowercase s citizen of the United States. I don't know if anybody's ever brought this up. I really don't, care, because we have our own government and stuff like that. But I just think it's curious as to why they keep lying about it. Here it is here, citizen of the United States. So it wasn't a typo. That's uppercase C. And then they have citizen or citizen of the United States here. It's still no citizen of the United States of America. I haven't found anything like that. And then they say citizens of the same state, citizens of another state, different states, and all this other kind of stuff, still upper and lowercase letters. A particular person, place, or thing. Big difference in law. The citizens of each state shall be entitled privileges of the citizens of the several states. Okay, we got a plural here. That's in section 2. There's a plural here. That's in section 2. Same thing. And you're still talking about uppercase C, citizen of the United States. It's a particular citizenship. And they still don't give it to people in their naturalization. And I'm sorry, but that's just the case. You're not entitled to anything because there's actually no such thing. It's just but nobody's going to really do that, so we're going to play act like they're getting it. But you really want to push it all the way to the the nth degree of pressure on them to prove it. Yeah, they're not going to be able to do that. You can just assume, oh, I got my my certificate. I can get a driver's license, and I can get a credit card, and I can go have fun at the store. That's about it. But when it really comes down to it, you don't have any rights any more than anybody else does. They're called inhabitants, which means they're foreign to the state. They're foreign to the United States still. You take your oath, your citizenship oath, still they don't give you a citizen of the United States. And then in that one wording, they put the word was. Oh, you were, it was. Past tense. Okay? I didn't do it. I'm just bringing it out. I'm sure I'm going to get, get attacked over it, but whatever. It's not like the first time it's ever happened to me. And they're going to have all kinds of arguments, and then everybody's going to, tell me how dumb I am. That's what they do. It's funny. All right, now let's get over to this trial. We had the trial in the Human Rights Tribunal. Florida Assembly members of the United States of America are unincorporated federation of states. Guys, I'm sorry. You're not going to be able to get around what happened, regardless of what you want done. You're thinking, oh, well, this will work. Okay. This is the kind of crap. It was sent out by Anna first. So some guy, I think his name is Ralph David Moore. All right. He's still calling himself a fiduciary over here. Some that means there's a trust somewhere. I just don't know where it is, and whatever. They come in and they really bring out judge not lest ye be judged. Okay, judge not lest you're judged. On that basic statement. Let me show you what I'm talking about. They take this thing that Anna wrote, okay, and then they come out. Notice and return to the Human Rights Tribunal International. It says, from Florida Assembly members of the United States of America are unincorporated federation of states. Okay. Once again, folks, this never happened and did not create any kind of federation of states. Okay. This is called people trying to steal. They're stealing the country. Okay. Then they go, notice of non-compliance. I have no idea what they're talking about, non-compliance. We weren't compliant for something, or they weren't, or that's just BS. Okay. Notice of non-assumpsit. This was a confession that they stole it. If you go read that up, let me go read it. It says non-assumpsit is a Latin term, which means he did not undertake. It is an archaic pleading form of a general denial of an inaction of assumpsit. Is a form of pleading in which the defendant claims that he or she did not undertake or promise any obligation in the manner or form set forth in the plaintiff's complaint. Okay. The defendant claims that he or she did not undertake or promise any obligation. Thank you. You just said you stole it. You stole the metes and bounds, because that's what you were being charged with. You just said you stole the metes and bounds. There was no undertaking or any kind of promise or any obligation between the government of the United States of America, the real American nationals and residents, and this organization that you guys call, I don't know what the hell you call it. Hold on one second. I forgot what they call it. Oh, some Florida Assembly members of the United States of America. Okay. Our unincorporated federation of states. Bullshit. There's no such thing as Florida Assembly members. If you'd have done it right, now watch, I'm going to tell them this, right? Watch what I tell them, and they'll change it, because they're thieves. Because most patriot groups are thieves. Most, if not all of them. If not all. That's why we keep trying to tell them, stay the hell away from us. A lot of them are thieves. What I'm telling you is this. I'll just give you an example before I move on with this ridiculous freaking claim. When our people go to court, there is so much interference by Anna and all her freaking little cronies and thieves and all the crap that she puts out there. They're confusing our people with their people. Okay, so it takes the courts, I don't know, about 3 months to figure out who we are, that they have one of our people. When they do that, they drop everything and get them out of court. They go, oh, damn. Well, okay, well, sorry, guys. We didn't mean to do that. Go ahead and get them out. And they get those people out of court. It happens all the time. But it takes like 3 or 4 months, because people like Anna and her stupid shit that she does, it makes all these stupid claims. The courts don't have any respect for her crap. Okay? Nobody does. In their federal and the local state system, they don't have any respect for her stupid shit. So they think they confuse our people with her idiots that follow her blindly. Now, what do I mean by following her blindly? All right. None of them think for themselves at all. They're okay. All they did was copy and paste the crap she wrote and then committed that so many crimes. That's all they did. And I'm going to show you something else here that you haven't seen yet. Okay, so I'm going to go through it just a little bit. No American state assembly is subject to any jurisdiction held by any international tribunal. Okay, that means you're not a part of the law of nations. Therefore, you're not an organization. You're not a state assembly. All state assemblies and everybody in this country is subject to the law of nations. You just confessed that you were nothing. You have no law. We know that because you steal documents and pass them off as your own. Little thief. But, you know, that's dealing with the Vatican, right? It says, our state assemblies in these several states, they populate our sovereign physical entities, and only external performance contracts they hold are with the Pope, the Queen, and the Lord Mayor of London. There you go. The several states they populate are sovereign physical entities, and only external performance contracts they hold are with the Pope, the Queen, and Lord Mayor of London. Oh, so you're not subject to international jurisdiction or any kind of tribunal, okay? But you are subject to the Pope, the Queen, and Lord Mayor of London. Hello, that's international. Okay? So, not with the Reign of the Heaven Society. Great, because the Reign of the Heaven Society is not even has anything to do with it. That was the Reign of the Heaven Society itself was disillusioned. It was gone in 2016. But the guy that copied this off and everything, he doesn't think for himself. He lets Anna think for him. Okay? That's how these guys are. This is how these people are, and this is why we're trying to say, look, stop using the United States of America as a name. You don't know what you're doing, and you're stupid. You don't think for yourself. Okay? Now, or any ill-informed adjunct organization doing business as Human Rights Tribunal International, pretending to have authority or jurisdiction related to us. Okay, we're not pretending at all. This was serious. You stole a document. You stole the metes and bounds that we risked our lives for. Okay? And they're using it as some kind of money grab. They're sick people. Very, very sick people. We risked our lives for that thing. And I'm not kidding. Nobody believes me until it comes down on them. No Americans or no American states. Okay, now we're going to speak for all the Americans. So all the Americans she's going to speak for, right? She's going to come in and claim power of attorney. That's typical Catholic shit, okay? They all like to speak for everybody. And no American states are subject to any foreign law or unincorporated entity tribunal operating in a global jurisdiction. Great, no problem, because that's not the Human Rights Tribunal. Stupid. Just because it has international in the name, its jurisdiction is national and international. But they never look that up. They just assume because they see international in the name. So there's where you see the ignorance that comes through. This is the patriot groups that do this. All right. Now, I'm actually reading something here, but I don't think they even see what they wrote, and I'm going to show you that just in a few minutes. I'll just read another couple of stupid paragraphs. All right. The populations of our states of the Union are now, remember, we're the ones that brought back the States of the Union. It's in the newspaper. It's over at reignoftheheavens.com. Put States of the Union. We were the ones that reestablished those. Okay? Now, are composed of living people and lawful persons. Yeah, you're right. We are. Not humans. Okay. All right. So this is a basic defense against stealing something. Okay? Believe me, you can go through this whole thing. They never even mentioned that they stole anything. That they stole a document and passed it off as their own, ever. All right? So, thus, neither our states You don't have any states, nor we, their federation government, in international jurisdiction have imposed upon any entity, class of inhabitants, or foreign persons that could be described as humans. Yeah, you stole a document. Just because it's in the name does not necessarily mean what you think it means, dummy. All right. However, we did notice your organization is pernicious efforts to confuse yourselves and your franchises with us and our government. No, and guys, we had a government out there for a very long time. I don't even see that they don't have a government. Period. Now, figure this out. They said the United States of America is the name of our unincorporated federation of states. Okay, those are just political states is all we are. We've gone through this crap before. Now I'm going to stop right there because I'm getting a little tired listening to this BS. And I'm going to bring out the obviousness and how stupid the people are that follow Anna. Folks, the whole idea, and we've proved it beyond a shadow of a doubt, that they stole our document, the metes and bounds of our document of the states, and passed them off as their own. That's a theft. Okay? The whole idea of the trial, which was done by what? Oh, a great jury. There was an indictment, and then the indictment was put in the newspaper, so everybody knew there was an indictment. And guess what? They never claimed no jurisdiction against the great jury. They did that. They never did that. They never said that the government of the United States of America nor the American National Union of the United States of America didn't have jurisdiction. You see how they get blinded? Judge not, lest ye be judged. I'm going to tell you what my version of that in a minute. I don't know if it's true or not, but we'll see. So many people take that thing as to say you shouldn't judge anybody. Okay, but I think there's a whole other side to this. All right. Just because it deals with Human Rights Tribunal International, just because it's in the name, doesn't mean that that's all we deal with in the Human Rights Tribunal. Because in the Human Rights Tribunal, you have respondents and you have a claimant. Okay. Now, so you're saying a claimant is not a person or a human being or a living being or something like that. It's just the whole thing's stupid. You see how stupid this is? All right. Now here's the next one. Guess what? In order to claim no jurisdiction, you have to have a jurisdiction. The whole trial was the fact that you stole the metes and bounds. You could have gotten them anywhere, but you took our document that we had because you knew it was legitimate. That's why you stole it and passed it off as your own. Okay? You did that. You don't have a jurisdiction without that document. That document belongs to us, the government of the United States of America, the General Post Office, and the ANU, American National Union of the United States of America, not this crap that you see right here that was completely made up and total BS. You could claim no jurisdiction if you had metes and bounds, but you don't have them. Because why? Because you're found guilty today of stealing the document, passing it on as to the public as your own, as if you had something to do with it, as if you had a claim to it in one way or another. Like we said, folks, they knew, this whole crew knew that these metes and bounds was our document. It's been sitting there for almost a month and a half, 2 months. We've improved it in one of the T-Row shows. One of the latest ones. I think it was 83, 84, 183, 184. They knew that and still did not repent. That means they have no honor. American States Assembly members. First, okay, it's supposed to be state of Florida, dummy. All right, Florida Assembly members. There's no such state as called Florida. It's called state of Florida. That's what I'm saying. Watch, they'll change it though. None of them have any honor, period. They're all thieves. They knew it because how did they know it? They sent this back. They know it. But they gave the BS response. They can't think for themselves. They could have said, you know what, guys? We would have probably just turned around and said nothing. Okay, we'll just let them off the hook. We're very reasonable people because there's a way to get your meets and bounds. There's a legal and lawful way to do it, and we offer that to anybody that wants to become a resident that's not a part of Islam or the Moor movement and all that crap. That's all Islam. Okay, we offer that. And it's just called a resident declaration. And then you go through and it's about 120 days. Make sure that you want to do this. And then you take your oath and affirmation as to claim your nationality, American national, not American state national. Okay. Just an American national. And you can do that. And that's free to do a residency and then go to your assembly and then start your assembly up. We would have helped you. We would have put your assembly in the newspaper. We would have done all kinds of things to back you up. Everybody in the state of Florida that we already have there, that are there legally and lawfully, not you, the ones that are in this BS assembly members. Every one of you, you're not criminals because you made yourself criminals because you listened to a thief. Because you won't think for yourself. Guarantee if you won't think for yourself, you guys are never going to make it. I know that. Believe me, I know that. I've known that for the last 10 years. Okay? The reason is because you have to be able to think for yourself in order to run a state. You guys are going to be criminals. Well, you're already criminals. You're going to be going through and you're going to start writing documents and crap. You're going to have Anna write the documents for you, and then she's going to be making these demands. And we demand you do this. Has anyone ever listened to any demand she's ever made? Folks, think about it. Any listeners here, has anyone ever seen any demand in any way, shape, or form? Anyone has ever complied with any demand that woman has ever made? Sounds good, but no one's ever complied with it. Nobody listens to her. Internationally and nationally, nobody listens to her. Nobody has any respect for her. But here you go, folks. The last people she dealt with, she got one guy in jail for 37 years. The others were in jail for about 20 years. And then she blames them when she hauled ass 30 days before it happened with this Continental Marshals. Now she brings the Continental Marshals back again. And guess what? All you guys that are claiming to be Continental Marshals in this organization, you're going to be in the same position they're in. That's called jail for 37 years. It doesn't take long. You have to know what you're doing. People on the international level don't put up with this crap. How many demands have we made on anyone? None. Other than, hey, acknowledge you stole our crap. You have no honor, by the way, because you didn't acknowledge it. And in international law and law of nations and commercial law, even on your local levels, you better have honor. Otherwise, you have no honor. You got caught and you know it. Then you tried to create some BS freaking document here to try to get out of it instead of just fessing up to what you did. So you don't have any jurisdiction. You don't have anything because you don't have the metes and bounds because the stolen document is notwithstanding. So keep going on with your fraud and everything else. All you're going to do is prove me right again that patriots and patriot groups are nothing more than a bunch of thieves. Bunch of violent son of a bitch and thieves. And you got to treat them with the utmost strictness because they're dangerous, very dangerous people. And believe me, I'm not saying this because I've got my head up somebody else's butt here or the Fed's butt or I'm trying to kiss anybody's ass. This is the way it is. And I'm showing everybody this, and I keep showing because I want everyone to see. If you see one of these patriot groups around there, and they start telling you about all these things that they do, all these things they can do, and they don't know anything about the law of nations, they're going to put your ass in jail in no time because all the crap they do is fraudulent. Every bit of it. They are thieves, and we keep trying to tell them, don't come around. If you're ready to do things right and you're ready to clean your life up and you're ready to follow the law, give us a call. Go on there, do a resident declaration. If you're not, and you still want to think, oh, I'm going to get this pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, I'm going to get free money and crap like that, go ahead. Every one of the people that have done that is in jail. Every stinking one of them. Now, everybody keeps saying, well, they keep crapping on the Human Rights Tribunal, the General Postmaster Council. We have a couple of different courts. And they keep crapping on it, like, well, it's not legitimate. Oh, it's not real. It's not this. It's not that. Where's your enforcement? I'm about to show you where your enforcement is. All right? Because once we got Anna in a crime, which is what she's had, what she's done, she's stolen an international law. Okay? And she led a lot of people down this road. And we're not going to have any more mercy for the people, these coordinators, or anything like that. You guys had a lot of chances to fix this crap, and you didn't. Every one of you are freaking thieves, all 50 of you. Okay, and you don't think that we can get you. Now, this is what's going to happen. All right, you don't think there's anything that's going to happen to you. That's why you do this. Because you don't think there's anything that's going to happen to you. And you're going to think, oh, well, that's a federal common law lien. Oh, well, they work for us, so they can't lien us. They can't lien my living soul, or they can't get us or anything of that nature, right? Okay. What we're doing is this. We liened not your living soul. You freaking idiot. We didn't even lien your persons. We liened your offices. Anybody that holds the Alaska coordinator office or the Arizona coordinator office, which is supposed to be the state of Arkansas or state of Arizona, dummies, all these coordinator offices have $1 million fine against each one of them in a form of a lien. It's a writ of attachment. You're reading it right now. Okay, and guess what? Since this was all done by a private attorney for Pope Francis, okay, that means Vatican City is also liened. Okay? Now, what is your jurisdiction, folks? These Colorado coordinator and Indiana coordinator and Louisiana coordinator and all that. What's your real jurisdiction? Your real jurisdiction is Vatican City, because you've been talking, and the person that set this all up and stole the meets and bounds, now they're stolen. Now those are taken away, right? They're no longer there. They're back where they belong because you had a trial and it's over and you've been found guilty. So what happened is, oh, that's right. You guys are under Vatican City jurisdiction because you believed this private attorney in service of His Highness Pope Francis. So the lien also goes against Vatican City. Okay. Now notice that we didn't put Anna in there as someone who was liened. In other words, fined or anything like that. We didn't do that. We went directly to sentencing, and all this will be thrown in, be put in the newspaper and all this. So we went directly to sentencing. And this was for the theft of the meets and bounds of the United States of America. Oh, this is American common law, by the way. Yeah, we have jurisdiction there. Advocated for slavery, trespassed upon international person. That would be the United States of America. That's an international person, subject to the law of nations. Capital crime converted international record clearly established, because you guys converted the record of the United States of America that has been established since 2013. 12 or 13, it was earlier than that. We've already established that record. You can't come in and trespass on the record, dummies. All right, think for yourselves, folks. Think for yourselves. claimed power of attorney for it, okay, then violated Chapter 12 of the Law of Nations. This is what the Pope did, and then bore false witness. Now, this was all done by the hands of who? There, let's bring that up and so people can see that. Okay, this was all done by Anna Maria Reitzinger, Wilhelmina Hannah Sophia Reitzinger von Rickenstein von blah blah blah, private attorney in service of His Holiness Pope Francis, right there, and that's her thumbprint. Okay, this is what she called herself, and this is under some kind of BS judicial notice on a common law grand jury. Okay, she said this is who she is. So there you go. You can't you can't unclaim something that you originally claimed. Now, okay, since there's 51 of these, what we're going to do is this. The specific terms is this: $51 million is hereby attached to the 50 state coordinators and 1 regional coordinator, $51 million of the group called the American States Assembly in Vatican City for the tort and theft of the metes and bounds of the United States of America by private attorney for Pope Francis, Anna Maria Wilhelmina, okay? Now, here's the rest of the story. Is hereby not liened. So Anna von Reitzinger, not liened. However, Anna Maria Wilhelmina Hannah, aka Anna von Reitz, has been sentenced to 20 years to life in prison without possibility of parole or probation for 20 years within the same sentence as the following. Sentence rendered as a fine of $1 million per state and regional coordinator and $1 million against Vatican City. Okay, that's $51 million or $52 million. Now, we've been authorized to do this, so I'm going to say it now. This is a federal common law lien. There's no way out of these liens. Zip, zero, nada, nothing. Okay? And we have properly protected ourselves from them, so they can't be used back against us. We understand these liens. We understand how they are. What we are offering is this. Anyone that is willing to put Anna in jail for 20 years will receive the $52 million in this lien. They'll receive $52 million in interest, having an interest in Vatican City itself. We got the chain of title all the way back to the Vatican. We have a $52 million lien against Vatican City for the actions of the private attorney for Vatican City and Pope Francis, and the 50 state assembly crap that the private attorney created, and then the 50 people that decided, oh, it's okay for us to steal. Why? Because you judged. And when you judged, you said, oh, it's okay for us to steal this. You judged us. You listened to what dipshit was saying about us, and there's been no trial. We were never tried. Reign of the Heavens Society was never tried for anything and has never been convicted for anything. Because why? Because your private attorney doesn't follow the law, doesn't follow due process. We could even come back and get that private attorney for that. We follow due process. Every one of you have been noticed. We follow the fact that there's been a great jury that found out and issued an indictment against you. All of you. We follow due process. And what your only defense is? Oh, we have a jurisdiction, the one you tried to steal, which was the metes and bounds. That's your only defense. That's like stealing a car and saying, oh, possession is 9/10 of the law. I own the car. What? You stole the car. You don't own the car. You can't claim the car because you stole the car. You stole the metes and bounds. You can't claim the metes and bounds. And all you had to do in order to legally and lawfully do them is just do a resident declaration, and we would have helped you with more resources than you would ever imagine. You would have had exactly what you wanted, but you decided to steal. You decided to take. And then you're trying to rewrite history. and say, oh, the Constitution is under the United States of America, the Constitution of the United States. Do you realize that the real citizens of the United States are going to be really pissed off at you? They're going to have a reason to throw your ass in jail. The real citizens of the United States, uppercase C, they're called bankers. And they have a lot of resources too. And we can offer $52 million, there's 51 here. $52 million to anyone that will put her ass in jail for 20 years. So you got to do the math. How many times, or when she's in jail, you're probably looking at maybe $4.50 a day to take care of her. That's a pretty good deal. We're not even asking for any of the money. We're not asking for the lien. We will transfer this lien over to you with proof. When you come back with proof that she's in jail, and then we have proof every year that she's still there. And the $51 million in that lien is yours. And there you go. The clock is ticking, folks. Whoever wants to come through, all you got to do is put a thief in jail. That's not hard to do. It's been convicted. This is about the 50th time she's done it. And she has misdirected, stolen, and done all kinds of massive amounts of massive crimes. And if you're going to put anybody in jail that would deserve it, that would be that woman there. Now, if you want to collect from the people, you can go around and get all these coordinators too. So anybody holding those coordinator offices, if somebody jumps out and says, I'm not going to do that anymore, and someone else jumps in, guess what? You owe the $1 million now. Otherwise, if everybody jumps out of the coordination system and just get away from this woman, she owes the money. And so does the Vatican. Now let's see if the Vatican cares about you. Let's see if they'll redeem you for $51 million. Right now, that's payable to the North American National Party. Okay, so whoever wants it, whoever's got a redeemer, that's it. It's going to cost you $51 million. Now, if you're going to, if you just put her in jail and you want the money, you got that too. We're not going to take a dime. We'll transfer it over to you. Guaranteed, no one can get you out of this lien. No one can get this lien taken off of them whatsoever. It's literally the way it's written. It's a crime to take that lien off. And we have some other liens that we'd like to get redeemed also. So if you want to start buying some liens that we've got, that'd be fine. Sometimes we'll take 20 cents on the dollar. We'll pop them in the system and away they go. Okay, we got a bunch of them, especially against Wilhelmina over here and a lot of other organizations and crap that's been going on. All these crimes. And they're all crimes, every bit of them. So there you go. That's how we enforce, folks. Anybody that wants to put her in jail, let us know. We'll sign this lien over to you, handshake, and a high five, and away we go. That way, nobody has to sit and listen to this load of crap and this criminal activity anymore. No more internet, no more nothing. She goes away, and we've got some other guys that we need done too. Her 2 cohorts, we've got liens on them. We got judgments against them for human rights violations, and you can have the liens against them also. Okay, we got to get rid of these people that are pulling this thing. Okay, all this crap. We got to clean it up because we got to clean up the patriot groups. If we don't clean up the patriot groups, they're all turning into communists right now. They're lying, cheating, stealing, and everything else. It's corrupt to the core. I think I got one. I'll give you an example. Here's how they twist it. It's hilarious. I'll just give you another example. Okay, like we said, every time we say something, they're going to come back, play word games, try to get around everything, and deny everything. They do it all the time. If you catch them, if their hands in the cookie jar, they will say that those cookies were, that they are entitled to those cookies because that's what you owe me because you stole my inheritance. That's what they do. Here's another one. David Straight teaches, and he puts himself as private civilian, right? Okay, I know what he's doing. It's just a joke. They all do this. Teaches not to renounce, but to repudiate. See the difference? Oh, well, that's so freaking genius. Oh my God, that's just, oh wow, I never thought of that. That's genius. See, he repudiates. That's the typical Patriot garbage word games. Nothing to repudiate if it does not exist in the first place. Never got an answer back on that one, by the way. You see, folks, that's what we get to deal with on a daily basis. Patriots like that, please stay away. Don't come around here. You can stay in your little dream world all you want. And when you get pulled over by the cops, they can turn around and start calling you sovereign citizen and shit and blow your head off. Whatever. Because that's usually what happens. Because, folks, all they got to do is be straight up. All you got to do is say, man, we did not know that. Not put in this BS that we were guilty of something. Judge not, lest ye be judged. Before a crime is committed, you have to make a judgment. In order to talk to your conscience and to guarantee or to say that you were justified, you have to make a judgment. This is how you get rid of your guilty conscience. You have to make a judgment on the person that you're stealing from. Oh, well, they don't deserve it. That's one of the judgments. They don't deserve this. We do. They're a fraud. We're right and you're wrong. Judge not, lest ye be judged. Meaning, in order for a crime to begin, in order for a crime to happen, you have to make a specific judgment within your own heart and within your own mind to justify what you're doing to yourself. Or what you're doing to yourself, yeah, and to the person you're getting ready to do it against. Now, that's my version. That's my interpretation. That's how I think. I think it's right. But let me know what you think. Because I think that judge not lest you be judged does not mean, oh, well, we shouldn't judge anybody. That's something that the Catholics and lawyers and all them would put in people's minds. Oh, if you judge everybody, you're going to be judged. You're going to be under the law, and therefore you won't be under grace, and therefore blah, 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 which allows them to get away with a lot of crimes and causes chaos. I mean, how's that been working for you is what I'm saying. It hasn't worked for anybody at all. Everybody just sitting back and watching the crimes happen. However, what if that was geared towards the criminal themselves? Judge not, lest ye be judged. Think about it. Anna had to make a judgment. She had to say, oh, well, they don't deserve that. We're right and they're wrong. We're entitled to this, not them. Well, who gave you the right to make an arbitrary decision of who's worthy and who's not? Think about it. Thanks for listening to the 193rd broadcast of the T. Rowe Show. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next week.